Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, even if at a distance, even if we are not really together. So let me first of all thank the organizer for this opportunity to exchange with all of you and to present what UNHCR Italy is doing about refugee and education, specifically higher education. So the subject we are invited to discuss together today is really an interesting one, refugees and education from a local perspective. So let me first of all start from a bit of a global perspective to go back and arrive to the local Italian perspective. So as you know, there are now worldwide, there are over 70 million people worldwide are forced to displace due to conflict, violence, and persecution, and more than 25 million of them are refugees. So, as you know, the 1951 Geneva Convention on Refugee Status set minimum standard for the treatment of refugees in asylum countries, including the right to education. However, international protection holders still encounter greater difficulties, both with respect to the resident population and to other foreign people in accessing education. And this is particularly true for higher education. So let me just show you some data. Enrollment of refugees in education in general is lower than with respect to the resident population. But as we know, still at primary school, there are quite a good percentage of refugees is enrolled in primary school, but we see that there is a dramatic drop till higher education, and it's especially in comparison with the resident population that we can see the difference, because if this difference still is not that huge in primary school enrollment, but there is a huge drop with secondary school enrollment, where just 24% of refugees compared to 84 globally is enrolled in secondary school. And then this is clearly reflected in higher education. We do not have specific data for Italy, but in our experience, the situation is not that different from this global data in Italy. Now, while the Global Compact of Refugees calls for the enhancement of refugees' resilience and self-resilience to be achieved also by facilitating access to education and to tertiary education, in Italy still there is no any structural policy promoting and supporting refugees' access to university. In fact, even if since 2016, Ministry of Interior and CRUI, that is the Conference of Chancellor of Italian University, provide 100 scholarships per year for refugee students, but there is not an overall strategy for refugees inclusion, taking a wide range of aspects into consideration, from outreach and recruitment to services directly for refugee students inside the university, to learning and teaching practices for retention and study success. At the same time, it is true that the Italian University developed quite a few initiatives, very interesting initiatives, mainly responding to the so-called 2015 refugee crisis. So few different projects and initiatives were put in place, like humanitarian corridors and scholarship for Syrian students, like the possibility for asylum seekers to freely enroll to university courses, different attempts to facilitate title recognition, and so on. But still, some issues remain concerning, like information providing, coaching, tutoring tailored to specific needs of refugees, training about refugee status for administrative status of the university. This is just some point among others. So recognizing both these difficulties and the potential that exists in Italian university, and so in order to strengthen these different initiatives, UNHCR thought to try to create a network among Italian universities. And last year we launched the Manifesto dell'Università inclusiva, Manifesto of the Inclusive University. The manifesto has been signed so far by 38 universities. The overall goal of the manifesto is to support and to promote inclusion of asylum seekers and beneficiaries of international protection into universities in Italy, and to promote social integration and active participation in active life. So how to do that? The idea is to support university mainly around 5 main areas. So to invite university to put in place initiatives in 5 main areas. The first one is support to, let's say, refugee students, both in enrollment and in general during their academic life. So promoting access to information, providing direct assistance to refugees, for example, in the registration and enrollment process, providing guidance and tutoring during the academic lives, and of course guidance and tutoring tailored to their specific situation and specific need, and facilitating, again, with services specifically focused for international protection holder, supporting, let's say, job placement activities. Then another area is everything that is connected to title recognition and qualification. Again, we could discuss a lot about that, but in any case, university clearly they have a role, they are assuming this role. There is a lot of very interesting initiatives. So the idea is to try to create a system around so that each university is actually able to provide effective support in this area. Of course, scholarship, but not just financial support. The idea is that beside financial support, also through the involvement of the local community and plenty of civil society organizations and initiatives, there could be support in general to the life in the community, to the local integration, and so not just to support and to fulfill, let's say, basic needs. Then another specific area is humanitarian corridors. We invite, let's say, university to put in place university humanitarian corridors to support enrollment of refugee students from abroad, and then to facilitate their integration in the community. There is a specific project on that. Last year was a pilot project, it is a pilot project with 2 universities and 6 students from Ethiopia, refugee students from Ethiopia. They came and they arrived with a full support to study in Italy. This year, 10 universities participate in the project, and so 20 students will arrive in September. And it's a project involving the university, UNHCR, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tavola Valdese, Caritas, and Gandhi Charities, so a few other NGO and organizations that provide different kind of support. So the idea is that students from abroad, they can apply, they can get a scholarship, and they can reach Italy with a visa for students. Another area, of course, very important is participation. So the idea is that students can participate in the academic life and also in the local life and in public debates. And if they want, participate in discussion about international protection. So the idea that they can also be spread, let's say, their experience, their messages to sensitize the Italian population and to be part of change. In conclusion, let me just show a short video about the University Corridor project, where some of the people involved, the refugees and the professor of the university, describe a bit the project and some of the issues and on the reason behind. This is about university corridor, so students coming from abroad, but I think that apply absolutely also for students that are already in Italy. I
have a dream, and my dream is to be in the right place at the right time with the right knowledge. Now we are in the future that I was imagining, that we get an opportunity by good people which understand the situation of the refugees who are living in Africa, and give us this kind of opportunity to pursue our masters here, and we come the safest way.
Sono studenti come gli altri alla fine, no? Identici in un certo senso e diversissimi da un altro punto di vista. Noi vediamo i rifugiati sui barconi e questo per noi è l'unico modo di pensare ai rifugiati. Invece è bello pensarli, in questo caso, studenti in gamba che si meritano di studiare nell'aula universitaria con te a studiare, che è il loro posto. E quindi è stato semplicemente fatto una selezione per merito, quindi studenti che si meritavano di studiare. Aggiungiamo meritocrazia e basta.
When you are a refugee, you will not have the right valid documents to join the university. So you need somebody to understand your situation and give you the chance to join the university and to evaluate your knowledge and give you the chance. When we are refugees, we have so many problems because we don't have the money, we don't have the insurance or the fulfilled environment for education, because we are striving to survive, not to other luxuries. We don't have even have the basic requirements. The basic needs are shelter, food, something. Then education comes later.
L'Università di Bologna si confronta con quelle che sono tematiche attuali. Il tematiche dei rifugiati è un tema molto attuale, riguarda in qualche modo il mondo intero, si confronta con questo. Potremmo pensarlo anche come una modalità di crescita di tutte le università, perché è una sollecitazione a trovare soluzioni. E le sfide che pongono alcune situazioni possono portare a elaborare soluzioni che poi in realtà tutti gli altri ne possono beneficiare.
There are so many talented students, so many talented people back home, back in Ethiopia as a refugee. They finish their education and they return to camp. They are wasting their time, they are wasting their knowledge, they are keeping everything to themselves. They are not contributing to the country, they are not contributing to the world, they are not contributing to their self and their family also. They are just wasting their time. So if they get an opportunity like this, for sure they will be useful for the world, not only for themselves and their family, their country, but the whole world.
So this was with the word of the refugee himself. I think it was much more clearer what I was trying to explain, but this is a bit what we are trying to do in Italy. The humanitarian corridor last year, it was just a pilot project involving 2 universities and 6 students, and this year we are enlarging the project. There are 10 universities involved, and in September 20 students will arrive in Italy. I mean, let's hope that they will arrive in Italy in September due to the current health situation. And we will try to expand more last year. I mean, while we are, as was describing, we're trying to develop few more initiatives to create the network, to share best practices so that university can cross-fertilize each other, to try to support and to increase the access for refugees. Thank you very much, and I look forward to discuss with you on the round table. Thank you. Bye.